Trying to come up with an action jingle, you know, just kind of something catchy that. And then here I am. I can have that. I can have that beginning of every one of these streams. I could have that. Then it just kind of fades out. As it makes you think. It makes you get all excited at the beginning. And then it's just, no, we're going to chill a little bit. Hey everybody, I'm Eric. I'm making a game. It's called The Godkiller. It is a 3D top-down puzzle solving game. In fact, I wouldn't call it game anymore. So I got to switch up a little bit. Adventure. It is a 3D top-down puzzle solving adventure. See, I got to start wordsmithing this because I will need to repeat my little pitch so many times. I'll need to say that sentence there so many times, and by the end of it, I'll be like a tour guide. You know how you ever gone on a tour? Maybe at Disneyland, you get on the boat that sails through fake Africa, and the guy that's leading the tour says, "Hey, everybody, on your left, there are some hippopotami, and the plural of hippopotamus, hippopotami, and blah 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 blah. Don't worry, keep your hands in blah blah blah." And then it's just a spiel, right? But it kind of sounds all right because they practice it enough. But I guess if I end up being so polished at it that it sounds like I'm just rattling it off like a tour guide, that's probably not good. Anyways, let's get to show them what's going on. I have been working with the hands, working with my hands, working with the hands of my character in the Leap Motion SDK. I was promised to start these things off with a demo for people that aren't interested in coding. I will honor that promise, even though this will be a very minor demo. It's not going to show the actual game, it's going to show a utility that I'm working on. So I hit play, and this is really, it's mostly not my code. It's mostly like 97% just the Leap Motion utility code. But I made a copy of it. I made a copy of the scene and the code inside of it. And I started making modifications to it because it will eventually be a utility for recording hand motions that go along with dialogue. So I'll get the dialogue from a professional actor that I hire to record the lines, and I'll play it, and then I won't make the actor do the hand recording. I'll do the hand recording. It's much easier. I'll have my hands up here, and then the actor's lines will be like, I'll do Zebe from last session. Fair, can't wait to see the next session. And then, you know, I'll play back that line. It'll have the Leap Motion up in front of me, recording my hand motions, and it'll be and Leap Motion will record that because it's got infrared technology that detects the position of the hand. But the Leap Motion is not part of what I distribute with the game. The player does not require use of Leap Motion. I don't want to distribute their SDK. There's just kind of like technical, legal, project risk reasons not to distribute it. And so what I've done is started modifying the software that came with the SDK that's used to record hand motions so that it records it into a format which does not require the Leap Motion SDK to play it back inside of my game. And yesterday I figured out how to stop the animation from playing and then get it to advance one frame at a time. By having that capability of controlling the frame advancement, it means I can also take like a snapshot of the hand to say it coarsely, and put it into my own not leap motion dependent format. And I did figure out what all the key things were to record in each frame. I figured out, like if you look at this this hand here, it's made up of bones and joints, and there's 5 of them on each hand, and there's a palm and there's a wrist, and all of them are attached to a unity transform and have a position and rotation set to that transform. So I figured out that, and based my format not on all the tricky leap motion stuff, but just on the final transformations that are applied to those bones and joints, and then I encapsulated them into my own data structure last night. So now I've got something which I've got confidence can be put inside of a file. It can be serialized and put inside of a file. Now the next part that I want to do is take the hand from inside my game, the different hand model that looks different than the ones that come with the SDK, and get it mapped out in the same way so that it's usable. I might use just this session for that. It depends how fast that goes. If I get a little bit further along, I will also apply my new format of tracking joints and bones to this other hand, and then that'll be like all the risky parts are done if I can finish those things. That'll be all the risky stuff is done, and everything else is just going to be kind of like running down a hill. So that's the lay of the land. Let me exit out of here. Show you these other hands I've got, and they are cool. I got them from the asset store, but they're more realistic hands, and there is a mesh here that is the hand and what you see, and it is deformed based upon these other transforms here. So inside this hand container game object, there are a variety of transforms. Now I can take one. I'll take let's see, how about the pinky? I've got like the topmost bone of the pinky, and I'll rotate it just to show you what happens. Let me get a more dramatic type of thing. That looks horrible. I think I don't want to rotate on that axis. Let's try different axes. Now I'm just like breaking this guy's finger. I'm just pulling this pinky back like a mob thug, and it looks very painful. I'll put it in a more natural pose so you can sort of see how deformation works. It's pretty cool because all these transforms are deforming the mesh based on their position. Please tell me I can put it back easy. Good. And there's one for each joint in the finger. So you can see on the pinky, there's A, B, and C. B predictably is the next joint. C is going to be that joint there. So I could do the same thing on these two. I keep going the wrong direction. It's got to be really painful for that hand model. So that's how the puppet is manipulated. Now the next thing would be to map up all of these transforms to this other class which controls the positioning. So I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to take a quick look at like one that's already rigged up that way, so I can just double check that I'm doing it roughly the right way. So I've got a top level hand container. It's got G key skeletal hand. Okay. I'm going to try just copying it across. It won't work perfectly, but might be a good way to start out. I'm unsure about, do I want to go up to this level, the top level? I think on the other one it started in a different way. Here, let me go back to left hand. See how it's laid out. So left hand is laid out a little bit differently. Okay. So the hierarchy, this is the one that works, the robot hand. It doesn't have the mesh deformation like mine does, but I'm not too worried about that because the way the mesh deformation works, all that has to happen is the controlling transforms need to be moved around, and then it'll be fine. But I'm more concerned about the hierarchy because it's got palm. Where's wrist? Palm contains the wrist. I did see something that was supposed to kind of automatically handle the mapping. Let me see if I can use that in some good way. Where did I see that? They're just coming up top somewhere. Alright. I'm gonna look for it a little bit, and if I don't see it, I'm gonna do it the Eric way. Leap motion, Unity, map. Try mapping. Map, hand, controller, okay. Okay. 2 minutes or less. I don't believe it's going to be 2 minutes or less. I just don't believe that. It's going to take me at least 2 minutes to read this article. Hands module 2 minutes. I'm used to get the new module and update it. I might not have this because I'm using an older version of the SDK. Auto rig, I like that word. Auto rig. I want to auto rig. Okay, assign the rigged hand script. Determine and assign handedness. Find and assign palms. Find finger. Okay. The new leap hand auto rig. That looks like what I want. I just need to find where it is. Where is it? 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 Let me try looking for it inside of here. Search. No, not my, no. Search. Boom. Rig. I don't think it's included in my version. It's okay though. I mean, I think I kind of get it already. I honestly, I don't think it's gonna be that hard. Okay, famous last words. So, so I don't have to keep on like going back and forth between these. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of what is in here. Okay, I guess I don't need all of these open, because I know those all follow the same format. So, okay, so there's that. Thinking about what scripts to apply. It's just going to be GK skeletal finger and GK skeletal hand. Whenever you see like a GK in front of a file name, it's the modified version, modified copy of that file that I made from the original. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a snapshot, so I don't have to keep on flipping back and forth between these two hierarchies. Now even make this one bigger, bigger, bigger. Can I make it bigger? I thought it'd be nice if I could make it bigger. Zoom. No, that's not helpful. That's not helpful. No, it's also not helpful. Jesus. Man, who wrote the zoom feature? It's the most useless zoom feature ever. Somebody lazy wrote that. Okay, that's the size it's gonna be. So then I go over to I totally forgot that awesome jingle. Good thing I recorded it. Okay. There's that. Okay. One thing I don't like is that the wrist is down here. It might not matter that much though. I don't know, maybe it does. Let me check. I think if I do rotation here, yeah, it rotates everything. That's a bit of an issue. But honestly, do I really need wrist and palm rotation? Or maybe I need wrist rotation, but I don't know if I need palm rotation. Okay. So let me take this container that's one higher than a bunch of things. Nah, I'll do top level. That'll be fine. Okay. I'll add the hand script. Hand model palm width. I have no idea if that is that's a good indicator of the width or not. Okay. So it feels to me like I could probably get away with leaving out palm, but wrist might be important. So I'm going to move the wrist here. Okay. and all these fingers. There's index, middle, pinky, ring, thumb. I know from experience that these all need to be have the script attached for skeletal finger. And up here I want to assign them starting at thumb at 0. The thumb is at 0. Then it goes index, your pointy finger, middle finger, your flipping off finger, ring finger, pinky. It goes thumb to pinky. That's the order. Okay, so then I gotta go and do each one of the fingers. So I'll do them in the same order I just assigned them. So thumb, so my wonder is, should I think of these things as bones or joints? I'm going to treat them like bones. I'm just going to hope they're apples to apples. Okay. So well, oh, wait a minute. Okay, so that's, yeah, so there's so many ways I could screw this up. God dang it. I gotta go back and look at it, see how the other one's done. So the thumb. The thumb itself has no information, positional information. It's just at 0, 0, 0. So then the way that they've got it is each bone has got information that's relevant to its position. And this, on this one, they started out with positional information right away. The thumb. And I was able to put in the first. There we go. Okay, that may work. That might work. It's probably okay to bring that down to 3. I don't think there's any code that relies on it to be 4. Joints, might as well bring that down to 0. Okay, that's 1 of 5 done. Let's go on to the index finger. noticed one thing is maybe bad is like it starts off in a non-normalized way. Like the hand has got the pinky up and everything. Oh, did I leave the pinky up? Yeah, I think I left the pinky up. I'll fix that. Maybe. That's 0. That's 1. Okay. Oh yeah, I think I came in and did that 45. So I just do 0. It's all back. That seems more natural. But yeah, I wonder if the initial position matters at all. Okay, so I did thumb, index, next it's middle. I do have one useful advantage in completing this mapping exercise. I actually know how the code works, so I can kind of predict what the end result will be of these manipulations I'm making. And pinky. Okay. So that's the left hand. Maybe I got it right. I do wonder if this animation plays left hand or right hand. It'd be great if it did the left hand. Let me check. It does left. Good. That means that I can start with the left hand and just see how that works. And then if I have to make adjustments, and I'll do it to the left hand, get the left hand working first, and then once I'm pretty sure I understand all that stuff, I'll move on to the right hand. Okay. Hand controller. Can I put this guy here? Oh, it's got to be all the way top level. That's the first thing. So let's copy this component, put it at the top level. Okay, and down here, remove that component. All right. Ooh, kind of exciting. All right, I can save all that. Save it. Save project. Oh my god. Oh, this is some kind of hell that I put the hand into, where God. It's like the hand was turned inside out and ran over by a tank. God, it looks terrible, but it is doing something. That part is neat. All of the hands and fingers are moving. The wrist is rotating. It's just really deforming the fuck out of everything. Now I'm just pondering the best way to troubleshoot this. Because I don't want to like do a million tweaks and try each one. That's just not a very informed way to go about it. So what am I looking at? What am I looking at? Let me switch. Let me turn off this maximize on play thing. And I'm going to start it again. I want to be able to see it within the scene. I need a little bit of insight into what exactly is fucking up before I go trying solutions. So I've got it paused. And I'm looking at it inside of the scene. Okay. So I know a few things I could try. One thing I would like to know. This really is pretty gruesome looking. One thing I would like to know is the weirdness and malformedness of this whole thing coming from the application of transform and rotate that's made for the animation, or is there some other part of the code that does something to the hand to begin with? So I want to narrow it down based on that. I know how to do that narrowing down because I've already isolated the code that performs those transforms. So if I go to here, there's something called set positions. I just comment all the stuff that it does out and inside of the hand controller. Should be the skeletal hand. Set positions again. So let me go like that, and look at that, and then we say play again, and then does it look all fucked? Does it look all fucked? That's the big question. Well, now I got nothing at all. Nothing at all. That's not right. Okay. Where are you at? Where is my hand controller? That's something I don't get. Where are you at? There. Okay, there you are. There you are. Okay. So you have been instanced. It needs that set position to at least kind of move you into the same area. Yeah. You're not fucked up yet. You're not fucked up yet. So it is something about that initial application. Let me do a little bit more narrowing down. So suppose I allow the fingers to move around, but not Not. Palm, wrist. Forearm. I shouldn't have anything on these anyways, but just to narrow it down. Okay, so I'm saying, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead with these. And I want to see how fucked up you get. Whoa. Okay, so I know I am there. It moved. All the fingers down here, but not the hand. So it just like greatly elongated the hand. It wasn't a real useful test, if I'm honest. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to try, because it's not really easy to see a problem yet. I know it's these positions and everything. What if I take out the rotation? See what that looks like. I think it's still gonna look fucked. In fact, it might be impossible for it to not look fucked without the rotation. So I don't know if this is a good test either. It's gonna look fucked. Yeah, interesting. I still have some rotation somewhere. I think it's the palm is rotating. There's a hand you want to shake. Yeah, everything being fleshy just makes it extra gross. Where's the other place that it's rotating? Disabled all the rotation here. Yeah, something off. Alright, let me go the opposite way. Let me disable the position and just do the rotation. It was actually starting to look kind of right with this last experiment. Honestly, I'm stalling a little bit here. I'm stalling for an insight because I don't think this is going to get me closer either. I'm just kind of waiting for something in my head to kick in and say that's the next direction to go. Oh, there's the forearm thing down here. No, that was already kind of... boy, that's interesting though. So I didn't have a forearm set. So was it actually rotating? Let me go back over here. Hand L. Okay. Well, let's just try this anyways. Somewhere there is a fucked up hand. There we go. Oh! Huh. Well, now I might be getting somewhere. We'll check out this scene. Okay. That looks kind of like it could be right. I mean, it needs the rotations too in order for it to work proper. But I mean, there's other stuff here too that could mess it up pretty easily. Like, suppose that the pivot point on the transforms is different from what's expected. Like maybe on GK left hand, the pivot points are centered and they're not on this one, or vice versa. I don't know. I've got like another option. I can find this auto rigging tool, which sounds like it would solve the basic hand setup. They're saying 2 minutes. It'll take you 2 minutes. Okay, alright, sure it will. If it takes me 20 minutes, I'd be extremely happy. I have to download their other SDK and probably put it in an entirely different project so it doesn't conflict with this other code in this project, and then it would be used to rig the hand. But there's an issue that rigging might assume a different class. A different class from the newer SDK. that may not be compatible with the old one. So I'm in like a older version of the SDK now. It's got this cool recording stuff that they took out of the newer SDK. Okay, so I don't see that being an easy option, but it is an option. It might be a multi-session option, to be honest. So before doing that, I do want to continue giving this a shot. And the way I could do that is by looking at the differences between the models to kind of see, like the pivot point would be one. I can do one thing pretty easily right now. It seemed like it was potentially calling some code that shouldn't be called. So we set a breakpoint here, breakpoint here. Okay, breakpoint here. Oh yeah, nope. Operating as expected. So it's interesting the order they've got this in. Palm, and then wrist and forearm. So that means to me, well, what does that mean to me? I'm looking at the hierarchy of this working hand. It's got palm, the child of wrist. Now that's interesting. And it's got forearm as a child. No, at the same level as palm. So it means to me that palm is expected to affect the position of the wrist, because wrist is a child of it. Is that important to me? I think it might be important. I think it treats palm as kind of like, no, that's not it though. Because it's a weird organization they've got. So it seems as though they're not expecting any of the fingers to be parented to wrist or palm. And that may be a basic assumption that is not correct in the new prefab that I've got. So the new prefab, I've got a wrist, and attached to it are all the fingers as children. So rotating the wrist and the new prefab also rotates the children, the fingers. Whereas in the working prefab, palm is separate from the fingers. That could be very important as far as what rotations applied to it. because you'd be sort of like double rotating things. If you rotate the palm, which kind of moves everything in the new prefab, and then also rotate the fingers, because that second rotation would be relative to the first one in the new prefab, but not in the old prefab, and the old prefab works. So I'm going to try restructuring the new prefab so it's more like the old one. Okay. Let me just save the project because I might really mess this up. In fact, I'll just duplicate this before I fuck it all to hell. What is this top level? Top level. Okay. From up here, that's all good. Wrist is going to wrist. I don't think there is anything representing the palm. Let me just check that these still work. Yep. Okay. Let's see how messed up this looks. Oh, I forgot to add back some stuff. Okay, now it's not moving at all. Alright, whatever. Let's put all this back in place. But here's a cool thing. I'm just really verifying that everything about movement of these prefabs is contained within these set positions. So I did that kind of as a side effect of working on debugging this problem. Because if I don't have this code called at all, the hand just sits there in space with no transformations applied to it. And that's wonderful for my purposes. Ah! I never get used to that. Somebody just played the worst game of Mercy with the meanest grade schooler. Oh man, I thought it would do something different. It looks exactly the same. Really? That was exactly the same effect I had before, even after I restructured. Maybe it's already applying like an absolute rotation to it. Damn. Okay. So let me. Oh. I know why I didn't see anything before, because Okay. God, that looks terrible. Looks like I'm almost seeing like normals turned inside out. It's like some rotations that aren't right. Well, oh, you know what? One thing I didn't try is, what if I just don't do the fingers? What does that look like? Oh, they're not going to move over? Well, now they wouldn't. They wouldn't move over because they're no longer parented. Still, let me just try it. I just want to see what that looks like. Is it? It's probably going to. The fingers are going to be way off in the distance. God, it all looks gross. Every single time it looks gross. Now it looks like a gerbil is inside someone's testicles and trying to get out. How did I get stuck in this man's testicles? God, that looks ghastly. Just ghastly. I'm just finding new ways to show disgusting things. What the hell did I do? What the hell did I do? This just needs to be put out of its misery. Oh man, that's gross. And I can't learn anything from it. I don't see anything I could learn. Okay. I do. This is like a thing I'm a little bit slow on, but I was thinking this was the palm. No, it's the kind of the nub at the end of the hand, the base of the hand. Okay. The fingers. I expected the fingers to be way off in the distance, but they did kind of move over. Why did they move over? I don't get that. This stuff is a little hard to troubleshoot, to be honest. Alright, I'm going to check the asset store comments, because there's a third-party package that I got these hands from, and they're advertised as Leap Motion compatible shit. And there were some comments on it. Maybe those comments will help me. I can also, let's see, it depends on the Leap Motion core asset. I opened that link just for the heck of it, but anyways. Let me read the comments. Where are the comments? I just want to see the comments. People said things. There it is. Okay. Tribe all does is show the 360 environment. Core assets examples all work fine. I'm going to say it was helpful to me. Worked great. Looked great. Great support. Okay. It's nice that somebody tested it on a recent version of Unity. Oh, I know another reason why I didn't use the latest fucking Leap Motion SDK. No Mac support. So that way is closed to me unless I get a friggin' Windows machine. Yeah, this was the start of my problem. Since the realistic hands were taken away from the V2 plugin, why did they do that? Why did they do that? They actually even have inside of this Leap Motion SDK, they've got prefabs that say different types of hands. You got robotic hands. You got human hands, and then you go and you look at it, and then you open up the prefabs and they're just empty. There's no mesh to them, or there's no texture to them. I wouldn't have messed even like with any of the stuff today if they just would have included like some nice hands that don't look like stupid and robot-y and skeleton-y. Windows, yeah. God damn it! Do I gotta be on Windows? You wrote a helpful review. Thank you. So I don't have Leap Motion Checker. What to think about this? What to do about this? So let me double check this whole SDK business over here. E2 desktop SDK. I think that's what I got. Unity assets compatible with V2. Okay, go over and check out the GitHub for all that. Assets. I think this is what I got. Let me just kind of check out the project structure. Asset store tools, gizmos, lead motion. Yeah, this looks like exactly what I got. What if they have like some good friggin' hands in here? I think this is just exactly the same as what I got though. Okay, demo resources, prefabs. No, not that. Prefabs. Okay, physical. So what is the deal with these things? What is the friggin' deal? Save. Rigid hand. That sounds sexy. Like there's no mesh to it. I'm having a Meeseeks moment. You can't give a Meeseeks a task. It takes too long, or it's too hard, or he goes a little crazy. And I insist upon making some progress every day, and it does not qualify if I'm not able to get some kind of concrete task done in my day. Fumbling around reading in different documents and stuff, that doesn't count. I'm Mr. Meeseeks. So, yeah, like there's no mesh with this. There are some transforms. Let me just. This must have come up already. Leap, motion, V2. Physical, no, no. Let's see, what's the name of this? Hand models physical. Hand models physical. Missing mesh. I think I can even do that. Missing. Jesus. Okay, leap. Just what did they do here? What's the history? What's the history on this? Because it's shit right now. Squash history. Oh. It's not like a real, that's not the right thing to say. It's not like a working Git repo. It's just kind of a dump. Is drop the source in it. It doesn't have like a bunch of commits for all the internal development that was done on. And that's fine. That's fine. Huh. Okay, issues. Let me see. Okay, let's take that off the broadcast screen. Alright, this is not going to help me, but I still just want to know. Alright. Wait, if I write something, yeah, these have been open for a while. Alright, there's no reason for me to write an issue against this. Okay, I'll check one more time. Yeah. Okay. I find nothing of value here. The newer SDK that might have a solution for me is Windows based. Leap, motion, V2. Wait a minute. This other guy, he also said V2. So in the asset store, under the comments, what did it say up here? Leap motion core asset. Oh. Been looking for some ever since realistic hands were taken away from the V2 plugin. Okay, so that's not somebody that said they got everything to work with these hands on V2. Okay. So, I'm not mad at this particular developer at all. So, I don't see any evidence that the developer screwed up in some way. So I'm not going to clutter up his reviews with my stuff, but I'm going to send him. Don't. Oh, fuck. I hate it when I click on one of these email things and it. Oh god, that sucks. Okay, Fifth View LLC. I'm going to send him a quick email. Fifth View LLC. No, not Fifth Wall. Must include LLC. What was it? Fifth? Oh, Fifth View, one word. Fifth View. Let's try Unity. Okay, I suspect this person doesn't have like a kind of a big internet presence. So let me click the dumbass fucking link. Oh wait, what's this? I may owe him an apology. He does have a website. It's Google that chooses not to list his website, even when I ask for it by name. Thanks, Google. Basically censoring this guy. Okay. Better company. Blah, 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 blah. Alright. Contacts. Fifth View. Where is this Czech Republic? Ljubljana? Slovenia. Huh. Cool. Cool. I've not been to Slovenia yet. I've been to... Okay, I'm really getting... Come on, Mr. Meeseeks. Mr. Meeseeks, finish your task. Alright. Alright, to... No, not that. To... Welcome at Fifth View. Oh, you know what? There's just... Okay, I'm gonna make this quick. Realistic hands. Question from customer. Purchased. Let me get the exact name of it right. Leap Motion Realistic Hands. Motion, realistic hands. From you. Very cool hands. I'm using them for the main character, for a primary character in my game. Alright, don't want to go on and on. This might be English as a second language person. So, just ask them. Do they work with Motion SDK v2? And I'm gonna link to that friggin' website if I can just find it again. Did I not just have it up? Ah, okay. Leap Motion v2 GitHub. Tried using them and adding skeletal hand and skeletal finger classes scripts to the game objects, but the hands are very deformed when transformations are applied. Any advice here would be much appreciated. Okay, send that. That does not count as progress, though. That is just constructive action, not the same thing as progress. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to work not like an idiot and see if I get a reply back from the developer, because he might straighten me out real quick. And I'm going to get one thing working right, and it's not going to be too hard. I'm going to add serialization to my little class. Because my rules are different than Mr. Meeseek's rules. I don't have to finish the exact task I was given. I just have to finish some task. Some task. I can come back to the hard problem. Those are my rules. They're different for Mr. Meeseeks. So set that like that, and back out of here. Hand controller. I'm going to put you back to something that works. Oh, come on. Come on. GK left hand. Get in there. Alright. Just verifying the status quo that I've got everything kind of back in place. Okay, good. So next thing I want to do is serialize. Serialize, as Sean Connery would say. I would like to serialize. Okay, so let's just close all the other files. And this one I can close too. Don't save. Okay, so this hand frame, that's mine. I make it serializable. Not there. Okay. Try to remember. Let's see. Unity. Right. Serializable. Object. File. I think I already did this once. I might already have some code in it, but it's in the other project. I don't want to switch to it. what is this? JSON utility. That sounds good. I don't like it when people don't stick the imports or the usings in. Okay. That's the first time it's shown. JSON utility. Okay. Oh, it's Unity specific. Okay. Unity engine. JSON serialized module. That's not actually a... It's not actually a good way to do that. Is there a binary serialized module? God, this is irritating. I just want the code that will take a serializable object and convert it to bytes. That's it. And I think it's something that's pretty simple and commonplace. But I don't really want to do a JSON because that's not really an efficient format. Or I just get a 2-byte array. But I want to try Unity. There's like way too much fucking code. I just how do I take a serialized object? Damn you. I'm really impatient on this. Just because I know it's simple and easy, and I keep getting like answers that are off on other tangents, and okay. This is it probably. Okay. Let me try that. I got a good feeling about it. Okay. That's cool. That would have been an easy one for them to make serializable, I would think. It's just got 3 values to it, but it's not apparently. Still, I'm not bothered. There's some way to do this. It was that you make a Alright. Oh yeah, I can do it real easy. I can do it easy. Yeah, let's make this getter setter. Or get position. Hmm. Nope. Okay. So. Okay, let's try it again. Alright. Yeah. Some kind of exception. This is going to be quaternion. Yep. Quaternion is not serialized. Also, like, it's just weird that it wouldn't be serializable right out of the box, so I'm just going to do a quick search for Unity Vector 3 serializable. Yeah. Interesting. It did something pretty similar to me. Yeah, they just kind of stored float X, Y, Z. Why wouldn't Unity just include this by default? Like, it, as the first guy says. Oh man, I just wanted to +1 him. So it seems like having your player's location rotation would be pretty common. Saving those would be pretty common, yes. But I can't seem to find any example of serializing those two things anywhere. And then this guy drops the answer, but it's so simple and straightforward. It begs the question, why the fuck would you not just include that shit in your base software? No additional stuff applied needed. Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna do the same damn thing that this guy did. I won't copy and paste. It's just simple enough you don't even really need to copy and paste it. I already did it one time with the okay. So what are the values for quaternion? X, Y, Z, W. Okay, so let's call it RX, RY, RZ, RW. Is that what they were? X, Y, Z, W. Yep. Get rid of you. There's another bad thing about this is, did he do the same thing? If you needed to go to a quaternion, yeah. So this is the other bullshit. Now I have to do a whole bunch of allocs in the middle of my animation, or do some fucked up pooling, which would be so complicated for such a simple thing. And all Unity had to do, all they had to do was just implement native serialization. It would have been like such a simple thing. Instead, I've got to do these new allocs all over the place, which causes garbage collection. So I don't know. Somebody's asleep at the wheel now. Get quaternion. New quaternion is XYZW. RX, RY, RZ, RW. Public. Pubic void. Set quaternion. Okay. So now that will have some more build errors that I'll fix. And do let me not call it quaternion. Let me call it rotation. Apparently quaternion math is pretty intense. Like, people kind of don't understand why it works. They just know that it does. Something like that. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Okay. Set rotation. For whoever's watching, I do have a special treat. It's a grossly deformed hand I managed to create. What am I doing? Frame, palm, and just to get palm rotation into it. I'm going Mr. Meeseeks here. Want to be done with the task at hand. It's very important to finish the task, or some kind of task, to make progress. So, hey Zebe, the task today was one thing, and it failed. I failed at it miserably, to the point that I sent an email to the developer to ask him for help of his third-party plugin. I'll show you the failure if you have an attention span for it. And then I said, because there's like this moral imperative for me to make some kind of progress every day, that I would switch to simply serializing the hand frame data, making sure I can get into a byte array so that it's savable. That's going to be my way to justify the session, or make me feel good about the session. Let me see what's going on there. I got to set the rotation. So I have to complete the second task for my dignity and my integrity, and my functioningness as a machine. That's what's at stake. Alright, I want to see some serialization. Want it to serialize. I got the breakpoint. I do. I'm telling you, man, you could see a broken man right here. If I don't get this to work, I can't fail twice in the same session. I can fail once and then redeem myself, but I can't fail twice. It's just too much. Okay, I got some bytes back. That's a healthy looking array. Wait, okay, I can't confirm the success yet because I have to end on a good note. So first I'm going to show you the failure. I was about to confirm the success, but first I have to show you the failure, because if I end on the failure, it'll just ruin my night. So let's show the failure first. The first failure, which I will return to, maybe with help from that developer, if the developer's nice. So take the left hand, and I tried to put in my own model here, which I worked on to get it mapped out correctly. So here's what the real hand model looks like that I want to use. Pretty cool looking, I think. It looks a lot like a real hand. And in my game proper, two of these hands makes one character. The hands float around. So when I tried to apply the same animation to that new hand, I got this. It looks pretty bad. It looks like something you just want to take a shotgun to and put it out of its misery. The stuff of horror. Alright, so that was my first failure. Now I will bring it back to success if I've done things right. And I think I have. Cannot end on a failure. Just cannot do it. Okay, so I'll call this success if I have an array of bytes, and if they aren't all zeros but seem like they're populated with numbers that would probably correspond to binary data. So that is a healthy sized array. It's, 1.8K. And then if it's not a bunch of zeros, okay, yeah, there's data. There's data. This has got to be proper serialized stuff here. Okay, I'm calling that some success. I think that's good. I think I've made enough progress that I can keep the machine that is Eric working and not have it be demoralized and fall to ruin. And that is a session. That's the end of a session. I'm sorry to end like right when you got here. My timing might have been a little bit off on that tonight. I will do one more this week tomorrow. if you feel like joining again, the company is appreciated, and I may try and get this thing figured out. Depends, like, so the thing that happens is like, oh, cool. The thing that happens is sometimes I sleep on it and I get a good idea, or that developer guy might help me out. So, anyways, you have a good one. Zebe, are you geographically, where are you at? Japan? Any place interesting? I don't know. I might have caught you right when you're running off someplace. Southwest Arizona. Okay. Yeah. I've been down to Arizona. Arizona's not bad. It's not bad at all. Alright. Well, I will catch you later. I'm gonna go figure out some dinner and stuff. Stop on the stream. Stop on the stream. Boop, boop.